answers to this question, they may not necessarily apply to your product or your service, because you may have one answer, you may have multiple answers to this question. But to give example, the value proposition and the ultimate reason why the buyers could buy from you could be in the product features or benefits. Maybe your product is of high quality. It could be price, however, we don't recommend that, because there is always somebody who is who's ready to offer the same product at a cheaper price. Things like guarantees, or in the case of food product, would be shelf life. Perhaps your food product shelf life is 1 year as compared to 3 months of your competitors. So this may be your value proposition. Also, some unique needs that the product addresses. Speed of delivery. This is also important, especially for food products. Also, had exposure to some mining suppliers. They use the speed of delivery quite a lot, especially those companies that work on, let's say, reconstruction of mines or like repairing. If you are that type of company, then your ability to deliver the product faster to the remote mining site in, let's say, in the middle of Africa, could be your value proposition. Your competitor will not necessarily be able to deliver this part in, I don't know, 5 days, but you can. So this may be your value proposition. Does that make sense? So why don't we start with discussing value propositions that you may have. Can anyone give examples, especially those that have identified their products? Because I know some of you have, for now, have no idea what the product, which product you're going to be trading. But if you know, if you have the product in mind, can you share the reason why should the buyer buy yours, please?
Because we're in the service, basically, the aspect of the business. We're saying helping the traders to lower their risk and maximize their resources.
Okay. Just for those who is out of your business, yes. What are those risks here?
Those who want to basically start importing and exporting to the other countries, to that end market, where we can help them, so they lower their risk and then maximize their resources.
Is it because you take care of the transaction, right? Did you actually help find suppliers or buyers?
From like I said, from conception to implementation.
Okay, fair enough.
The very first beginning, even the idea, we can develop the ideas until they want to get there and set up.
And this is specifically for food products, right? So if we say the Canadian food producer, I want to sell in Dubai market, then you help
pretty much
all the way, from finding.
Not just food, there are few niche products, but in general we can help them because we know those markets, we have the connection.
Excellent.
So can facilitate the.
Yeah, excellent. So in this case, your value proposition is definitely, cutting time costs and risks for sure. I just wanted to explore a little bit what kind of risks you're talking about exactly. Yeah, but that's a good point. Peter?
We have contracts with the growers, and the company that we own part of in Brazil has the export license to take sugar out of it. To get that to that stage, it's a huge amount.
Right. And if I am, let's say, a sugar buyer, what does it tell me? So if, say, your producer has a license and...
We can actually deliver the product.
So is there a risk in that market that, so you may not receive it?
Well, we eliminate the risk because we're dealing with growers.
Right.
With the co-ops.
Right. So you don't deal with the middleman, right? And you obviously have greater control?
We own part of the middleman.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm pretty sure it also helps you to, cut some costs.
Yeah.
Is that right?
The main thing is getting the export license.
Okay.
Somebody, you go to Alibaba or you go to
But you cannot sell unless you have that license, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it may also be your case if there is a regulatory framework around your product. If you have intellectual property on your product, for example, this could be a valid proposition. Does anyone have any patents here or other intellectual properties? Just curious. Yeah, or sometimes you have like engineers in the audience and they may have some ideas or some patented ideas. Okay, so let's take maybe a few minutes and work on our workbooks. I would like you to please go to the question 2, I believe. Yeah, and answer the question, what your unique value proposition is. And try to think about the international competition. When trading internationally, you're facing not only, let's say, other Canadian companies that are selling to that market, but also the international companies and the local companies, maybe local producers, local manufacturers. So the competition increases when you're dealing internationally, and being able to explain to your buyer why your buyer should buy it from you is critical. Please let me know if you have a computer or you want me to explain the other way. Okay, couple of minutes. Okay, let's check some examples.
I offer a product of high quality and a very good packaging system that keeps the product safe from the farmer to the buyer.
This is a good point as well. Product safety. Ensuring that the quality of the product is the same after the product travels, 10 or 20,000 kilometers. That's very important, especially for food sector. Yeah, absolutely, good point. Also, I don't really know too much your category, but I would imagine that there are, all the over several varieties of cocoa beans, correct?
Sure.
So if some of them are, either more expensive or, maybe are considered to be premium beans, you may also diversify your value proposition and target, say, the specific audience with that, premium product, if you will.
Absolutely.
Something like that. Yeah. Because I know, for example, in lentils there are regular lentils, there are premium lentils, something like that. Anyone else? How about jewelry? I'm very curious about that because I think we have a couple of examples from jewelry sector. What would be yours? Is that yours?
I was mentioned regarding boots. Here regarding boots, like cowboy boots, you don't find it very easily. Normally just to stores, but the way you have to drive kind of 1 or 2 hours part of it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that one would be like a very good niche because it's not the product is not.
How about Alberta as your target market?
I was like Toronto.
Fair enough. But you also have to think outside the box. There is no that. Well, again, I don't want to cover culture, but as far as I know, there's more people of this subculture in the West. So you may consider that. Be flexible. Don't limit yourself to the local market. If there's a market that is better, you may be based. That's the beauty, by the way, of international deals. You may be based anywhere, but you may sell your product everywhere.
Like then you put it online.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You buy some ads, to show your product to Alberta residents of certain demographics, and there you go. Okay. So what else we have here? We have some commodity products, those we discussed, custom products. Services, by the way, to your example, I would imagine that like as an IT professional, you are probably exposed to certain programming languages or certain tools and techniques, correct? So your value proposition may be around those specific unique tools. Maybe you are you a developer or what type of work do you do?
No, databases, I work with databases, but let's say that the information is very important to make decisions for some people. And if I sell historical information, and then people can buy this information from any country, any place, and just my question, how this market is going to be, how to pay taxes, maybe. I don't know how to handle it.
What do you mean?
For example, for CRM, the customer relationship.
Yeah, let's be specific.
Historical information about a product or about a buyers, and then I want to send the information to Spain. And then if I send this information to Spain, I want to know which is the trading in this case. What I have to pay, or if I buy information from Spain, how?
Well, with information it's quite easy because again, there's no duty, there's no tax, so like you just pay whatever you have to pay. Or if you sell the information, then you invoice. The only nuance that we're going to cover it in the next in the session after the break about the taxes. I'll let you know specifically what are the tax rules around it, because there are different sales taxes in Canada and there are different sales taxes in Spain, so we don't want to pay tax twice. So there are important techniques to take the taxes into account. We'll get back to that in the next section. All right. Anyone else? No. Okay. No, please don't be shy. This is the interactive workshop. I think everyone will benefit, and most importantly, there are no wrong answers. They're only right answers. They're right for you. They're right. Right. Yeah.
Sort of more decided. You have to have transportation. So I've had a contract with the first client for 4 years. And you can get a contract with any of the trucking companies. So to be able to say to your buyer, like, yes, you have a contract. Same with insurance. You have to have a contract to insure your boat.
Correct.
Right. So same with SGS or Veritas. Who's going to inspect it and make sure that it meets the specifications of your buyer? So if you're going to start out, even if you're not doing any business, these people are very nice. They'll open a contract for you. So you should look at opening up a transportation contract, opening up an insurance contract, opening up an SGS contract. And then, like, I can phone SGS Brazil and talk to them and say, okay, we need this inspector. I'm doing some work with Canadian Pine. You can't export it unless the agricultural department in Ontario inspects it and gives it a stamp of
Right.
approval. So there's a lot of this setup work. If you want to
Absolutely.
set up a company, you got to do the setup.
Absolutely, yeah, you're correct, and in fact, you brought a good point about the transportation. It alone may be your value proposition, because, well, the world is different. Here in Canada, we have the roads everywhere, and it's not an issue to, to say bring the logs from Northern Ontario or some agri products from the Ontario countryside. But the countries are different. There are some where there are literally no roads. So if you are importing, say, the product from the middle of the Amazon forest or something like some remote location like that, your ability to have the transportation is in fact your ability to export the product there and deliver this product to the nearby port is the value proposition. Because your competitors may not be able to, may not have that transportation. Sure, absolutely. And the preparation work is definitely important. So thanks for the note. I don't want to scare everyone because the point is that you probably have studied the subject. You probably have heard of all the acronyms that you don't really understand right now. The point is that it's all learnable if you don't mix it up, and if you go step by step in your learning process and establishing and developing your business. Because if you mix everything in a big pile, it will be difficult for you to figure it out. So I hope this workshop will be good either start or continuation for you. There are other items I'm pretty sure that you will run into. Also keep in mind that there are third parties that can help you. My personal belief and something that I always talk about on these workshops is that as an entrepreneur, your job is really to market and sell your product. Your job is not to deliver your product. Yes, your job is to set up the delivery, to hire the right company to do that, but definitely not in carrying the product on your back and not in filling out the customs paperwork, because there are other qualified people that can do that. I'm not saying you cannot, you absolutely can, but do you really want to do that? Do you want to spend your time that you could have spent on business development or marketing your product? Do you want to spend it on filling out the Canadian customs form? I don't think so. Okay.
So I just have a question.
Absolutely.
Transportation, that another really touchy topic. I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but for somebody who's starting the business here in Canada and wants to import another country, let's say Mexico or further overseas, do you have any examples of third-party companies or third-party providers that could assist with that?
Sure, absolutely. There's quite a lot of them. In fact, it depends on the markets, because there is no shortage of transportation and logistics companies in Canada. You have everyone from say so-called mom and pop shops, like one man, self-employed logistics professionals that to work from home and arrange the transportation. Doesn't mean that they do a bad job. No, they do as good as the big logistics firms. In your case, it makes sense to get the quotes from maybe 2-3 different freight forwarders. This is how they are called in Canada, freight forwarders. So they are the third party, usually companies that are in charge of shipping. Basically, they arrange your shipping. And most of them also do the customs clearance. So the only thing is that I wouldn't go to them unless you have the specific, quantity of the product in mind, maybe a specific deal in mind. Because they can only give you the quote if you tell them that, okay, I'm going to be bringing, 3 boxes of, so what's the product again?
Flavors.
Flavors, like correct. 3 boxes of flavors. Can you say that?
Yeah, it's like in
Is it flavor?
jars.
Oh, jars. Okay, there we go. So how about 3 barrels?
Yeah.
There we go. 3 barrels of flavors, and it's going to be what, let's say 30 kilograms, and these are the dimension of each barrel. So, and I'm going to ship them from say Guadalajara to Toronto and specific address. Did you ask my question?
Yeah.
Good. So, yeah, again, just to summarize, there's no specific companies that I would really recommend because there's a great variety of them in Canada. But I would like literally Google them. I mean, there's nothing wrong in Googling, freight forwarders. You may also specify the country that you want it to. Maybe you can look like, say, freight forwarders, Canada, Mexico. I'm pretty sure there are some that specialize in this market, in these 2 markets. Yeah, we came across EP America a few years ago. EP America, I believe it's a Mexican company, but they have offices here. Okay. Yeah, by the way, if you have an unrelated question, by all means, let's discuss. Okay. Anyone else wants to get back to value proposition and discuss their ones? Please.
I would say it's in my case, it's a unique quality product that I'm trying to get to export, which is, maybe there's a lot of substitutions in the market that I'm thinking of exporting. However, that's no quality for me in comparison to what we can have here.
So yeah, absolutely. The quality is definitely a value proposition. I would just recommend to be more specific. So what is it exactly that? No, what is the quality feature that
Well, quality in a sense that this is what I was thinking. I wanted to export the canola oil into the particular country, which is not available. Canola oil is not available there.
Oh, interesting.
We have the other oils like mostly maybe sunflower oil, which is expensive.